In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to configure multiple autonomous mode APs. So in this topology, what I've got is I've got two APs, and they are in autonomous mode. And what that means is they're not connected to any wireless LAN controller. All the configuration is done right on the AP itself. So there's no connection. They're connected to the switch and they operate in autonomous mode. And so what I'm going to do is I've got a VLAN 10 with some hosts in it, and also a VLAN 11 with some guests. So AP1 is going to be assigned to, say, employee VLANs in 10, and AP2 will be designated for maybe a guest room where there's some guest laptops. And there's two servers here. Server 1 is in VLAN 10, and server 2 is in VLAN 11. And the switches are already configured so that on switch 1, 01 switch port is in the correct VLAN 10, and 11 on switch 1 switch port is in VLAN 11. So to start configuring, I just go to AP1, and I'm going to go to port 0, and that's actually the uplink to the switch. I want to make sure they're assigned to auto, so it'll do auto negotiation to the switch uplink, so there's no issues with negotiating duplex and speed. Then I'll go to port 1, and that's the RF cell, and I want to configure an SSID for this, and I'll call it CCNA Wi-Fi. I want to configure a channel. In this example, I've got three non-overlapping channels in a 2.4 gigahertz band. So there's three I can select from: 1, 6, or 11. So that's just three. So it's either got to be 1, 6, or 11. I'm going to select 1. And I'm going to select for authentication, I'm going to do WIPA2 PSK. The PSK stands for passphrase, and that's just a static passphrase that's used here. And I'm just going to put something like CCNA for the string, and that'll have to be configured on the host as well. So that's the configuration there, and so that's on the AP. Now I'll go to the host. I'm going to go to the wireless adapter here. And I have to have a matching SID, so that's CCNA Wi-Fi. So we can pick that up. I'm going to enable the same security type authentication, WIPA2 PSK. It has to have a matching string, CCNA. And I'm going to select AES as the encryption cipher, because that's the best possible available for Cisco. And then I'm going to go to host 2, do the same thing. Go to the wireless adapter, tell it what the SSID is, and select WIPA2 and the same string of CCNA. And AES is selected, and so that's all configured there. Then I'll go to AP2. This is going to be the guest access point. So we'll go to port 0. That's the uplink to the switch. I want to make sure auto negotiation is selected. And port 1 is the RF cell, and I'm going to go to WIPA 2 and put in CCNA exam. I'll use a different key for AP2, and I could leave it at 6 or 11. Maybe I'll just select 11 for the channel, and I'll just select guest for the SSID. And that's all configured there. Now we'll go to the guests and make sure the wireless is configured correctly there. So just put in the guest SSID, select the same authentication type, and just put in CCNA exam. And AES has to match as well, so it does, and that's okay. And then to guest 2, I'll do the same thing, wireless adapter. So it all has to match. With a wireless line control, this would be done automatically from the controller. It's a lot more effective. And CCNA exam. So WIPA2 passcode is CCNA exam. That has to match. The SID is correct. And at that point, the minute that will connect. So you see on VLAN 10 they're connected. And VLAN 10 server 1 is 1.3, 192.168.1.3. If I go from host 1, it's layer 2, so I can only ping what's in the same VLAN. And so it replies OK. all replies from server 1, this 1.3. If I go to guest 1, I want to ping VLAN 11, that's 2.3. So I'll select guest 2. And 192.168.2.3. Oh, get the ping command. And it gets replies too. So this is all layer 2 topology. It's connected fine. It can access that server. This is host 2, so I'll just make sure it can connect to server 1. And it can. That's fine there. And gets to server 2. And gets all the replies. So that's working correctly. And so that concludes autonomous mode with multiple APs.